have to throw it out there, Cinderin. The cart, usually for Centaur, you're looking at a range carry. When they pick Lifesteal, I'm like, okay, the hopes and dreams of that Ags is gone. But the Arc Warden is a perfect prototype, perfect recipient of the cart. So we'll definitely see that this game.
I do think the main point of cart this game is to save from Black Hole, though, and
yeah.
It doesn't feel like... I mean, I'm not going to say Arc Warden isn't going to get Black Hole, because of course that can happen, but it's more likely going to be reserved for Lifestealer than the Arc. Potentially. But we'll see. I would love to see the cart. I've been laughing at how weak this was for a year, and now it's actually reached a point where it's quite good after 6 buffs.
Yes.
So
5th one wasn't enough.
You thought it was great when it came out, but that...
Wait, which one specifically?
The cart. Actually, I don't think you did. I think you thought it was...
I did not. It was, but it was a funny... I liked it because it was funny. Yeah. But compared to 40% damage reduction for your old team?
That's right. The old Ags was the damage mitigation one. It was really strong.
And terrain walk. It was great. We're going to have potential. No battle for the rune. Not seeing a ton of level or 0-minute kills.
That's true.
As we did in the last patch, right?
Yeah, there hasn't been too many. The teams are generally just trading runes and then calling it a day. I think in our games we've probably only had 1 or 2 First Bloods happen on the rune. So very few compared to, as you said, recently. It felt like it was every game that the teams would smoke into each other, but yeah, things have mellowed down a bit.
So looking at the facets that were chosen, I mean, the Arc Warden was kind of weird because it's the old... It's just the switch between... You're just choosing which skills your double has, essentially, right? You're just swapping between each other. We're going to see the Thorny Thicket for Ari. So he was one of the players that chose the other one. So I wonder what the reasoning... Is it because there's a melee position 1, perhaps? So the Brambles are just more important to be annoying.
The extra Brambles are really good against Stampede.
Yeah, good against Centaur on the cart. Yeah.
The biggest part of it, honestly, is just the Stampede factor. It's also good against Arc Warden to have extra Brambles, right? You're just more likely to hit both units when he has his Tempest double running. And on top of that, if you do get the damage talent, where you do more damage in Shadow Realm, you're likely using that in a game where you can put Bedlam on a core that you can stand close to, so you get the amp. And the only Bedlam core you really have here is Earth Spirit, and we know he's going to get in there. So it's going to be hard for you to be in range, I think, a lot of the time.
You see the Bramble onto Riddies. Blood Grenade as well. That's just First Blood. Easy. Way too easy for Whisper. Good start for OG already. But in the mid lane, one thing to mention, BZM on the Earth Spirit. We've seen it once already in this qualifier, but he's taken the other facet, which is the Magnetize. Well, it's just the regular one, I guess you could call it. It doesn't change the way the hero is played necessarily. But Stone Remnant gives Earth Spirit bonus attack damage.
It's quite a lot, too. When you're level 18, whenever your Magnetize is running, you have 120 damage. Rolling on Miku here.
Yeah, I'm hoping we get to see more Earth Spirit. I feel like it's the forgotten spirit of the mid. I mean, when I say Earth Spirit, I mean mid Earth Spirit specifically, because it's such a cool hero. Very roaming oriented. And I mean, he has ridiculous strength gain. Is this one of the highest strength gains in the game? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, 3.8 is very high. It's absolutely in the top 5. So it's cool to see, like you said, it's cool to see this hero being played, but I also think it's particularly good to see BZM on it. Obviously, yesterday he had an off game. I think it's just, you know, call a spade a spade. His Void Spirit game was all over the place, but when I look at this guy and all the 4 spirits that he plays, I personally... Oh, hang on, Tomato. Taking a beating here. It will be okay.
Yeah.
I would say, for me, his 2 best ones are actually Ember and Earth Spirit in mid.
Oh, they do finish off Seb, just barely.
Yeah, just narrowly reaching. I've been generally very impressed when I've seen BZM playing the mid-Earth. I also think his Storm is also really good in some games, but for me, the most stable ones are him. Just consistent performance. Earth Spirit and Ember just feels like those are where he is the most comfortable.
All right, again, we're seeing a Centaur get boots really early with the horsepower facet. I don't understand what's going on in Dota. Is there something we don't understand about this? How could we? It's very simple. You said it before. If you're going to get phase boots, then surely you just get the boots portion of it last, because you're getting literally 0 value.
You're getting some value, right? You are getting move speed.
Are you?
Yeah.
Am I misunderstanding how this works?
It says the movement speed bonus doesn't stack with boots, so it should take whichever is higher, right? And for now, the boots will be higher than...
Oh,
but
okay, so I'm the idiot then.
No,
I see.
but I mean, it's still a discussion of is it worth it? Because like you're not getting 45 move speed from your boots, right? You're getting like 20. So in that case, you could still buy a windlace, so pay half the price and then get the phase after, if it's the move speed you want. But then you're delaying your phase boots. So I think it's matchup specific. In this lane, he really doesn't need the chainmail, so I think this is much better time to do it than other games we've seen. But I agree overall. I think if you're buying phase, a lot of the time it's probably better to buy one of the other 2 components. But this time in specific, I actually kind of like this. He's just running at people, you know? Their lane is so strong, the Rubik Centaur. Ari's actually rotated to try to help now, stem the bleeding a little bit.
More double edge. Seb making a rotation. Ari.
Brambles.
Bramble. We talked about how easy that is to hit. Cinderin, 0.3 seconds. That means PMA is really young. Man. He's got the extra reaction time. Very fast fingers. That's why they have the Counter-Strike names.
Yeah. Seb's going to ward on top of a ward, so this will be dewarded for both teams, you would imagine. Ari is going to place a secondary ward that I think Daze might have also noticed, so we might lose both.
Big roll from BZM, completely misses. Now he's kind of stuck under the tier 1 tower. Puts down a magnetize, but rotation from Daze is here along with Riddies. BZM, a bit too much in that engagement. And now Ari, he's in his shadow realm, but it looks like he might just die to the... Oh, no. We'll be able to live just barely.
Oh, Tomato.
But in the meantime,
solo.
they finally get Tomato. But how? It was just a hoof stomp.
It's a good read
it's
from...
the boots.
Oh, Seb will kill Daze. I think... No,
got the juice bottom lane. Getting pursued by Whisper. Eidolons bring him down to 40 HP.
Yeah, so...
As Daze runs away.
Well, finally...
But they get the Arc Warden in the mid lane, so BZM gets some revenge.
Yeah. I think this was just a really good prep play from Navi Jr. to have both supports already sitting in mid as BZM's going for the roll. It's a very natural play for OG to try for this kill when Earth Spirit hits level 6 first. Ari was there for the Brambles, but they didn't manage to connect the spells, and Navi had both supports covering Whisper. Can't reach. And then Malefice.
Oh, they scan BZM. He's trying to go for the Wisdom, but Daze gets the telekinesis at the last moment. So each side gets one, as Gaben intended. Got the juice. His CS 30. Bless you, Cinderin. 35 and 4 right now versus Tomato's 31 and 2, and Tomato's the one that died and has been getting pressured constantly. So, I mean, looking just at the pure CS, not that far behind then.
Yeah, PMA is far ahead. It's top net worth by a lot. Well, not by a lot over the enemy offlaner, but by a lot over the carry. 1,000 ahead against Tomato in this lane was not the result I was expecting, and that's good news, right? We're talking about Navi's lanes not being the best in general. Their lane plays more so than their picks. But they're keeping it up in this one against OG so far.
Riddies running into Ari. Yep, we got the Nether Blast. As Ari will limp away. Almost goes down to the Spark Wraith, but there was an engagement bottom where Ari missed yet. Not to harp here, Cinderin. Missed another Bramble.
Oh.
Pros are really good at dodging it, apparently. We'll just say that.
It's crazy he can dodge that when it forms instantly.
That's right. That's why these guys are pros. Eidolon's doing a lot of damage to this tier 1 tower, so this
the middle one
will
as
eventually
well.
go down.
That's where OG are winning the most right now, is in the wars, right? They're getting bot tower. It will get denied at the very least, but the control is already acquired. Mid tower is down to a third as well. So I think perhaps a rotation from Whisper to mid is in order. Use his drums, use the black hole, try to get a kill on Arc and take his tower. Seems like a very natural move. That line is, as a matter of fact, being drawn by Riddies right now. It's like they're gonna come mid now and try to take this tower. And I wonder what the counterplay is gonna be. Is it just conceding it, or are they gonna try to put up a fight?
They're actually wrapping around towards the top side of the map now. PMA backing away. He's almost done with his blade mount. It's not going to be a triple bracer build, or even a double bracer for that matter, which has definitely been the go-to for most centaurs that we've seen. Single bracer into blade mail with the phase boots already intact, and then likely the blink from there.
Yeah, quite a good blade
looking on. Yeah, no doubt.
Willow needs to be careful with how she uses her ult. Earth Spirit is going to take a ton of residual damage from just casting his spells in fights, as long as you're in them. So, I dig it. And there's the tower. So, standard stuff. OG with the rotation here. Get it for free. And now we might hit a little bit of a downtime where there might be a little bit of farming going on. But maybe not if Sep has something to say about it. No, they won't reach Riddies. He's really fast. Never mind. I was not looking
fast
in the right
enough,
direction.
It seems.
I was
the roll
looking
in
at the
from
Enigma and
BZM.
the ET. I was not looking at BZM, and you should always look at BZM.
That's right.
You will find a way to reach on his spirits.
A good solid kill from OG. I think NAVI Junior side still working on the Radiance, of course, on the Lifestealer. Niku just recently picked up the Hanamitis. I think they're just going to be chilling. And like we talked about, Centaur with the Blade Mail, so going to be farming up the Blink. And that's going to be some powerful timings once the Arc Warden gets a second item and can actually contribute with the initiation of Centaur.
Yep. BZM just wants to go to town now, though, with his Vessel. PMA seems aware that something might be happening. He's going to pull off to the left and then back. So good read on the map. Don't know if BZM actually got spotted by the Watcher on the way before he used his Invis rune. But at the same time, also a relatively obvious play when you think about it. Earth Spirit was just mid. He's disappeared while Ari takes 6. BZM's decision-making tree is quite limited in this situation. But with the Invis rune, it is bigger than you'd think. Now he can walk up here, and he will go for days.
Yep, they're going to try for it. Days, going to get magnetized. Now BZM on the run, the Stampede being used, but the Bramble, just like you said, pretty much puts that to an end. And BZM doesn't want to stop here. She runs into the Tempest double. Whisper, Black Hole is at the ready, but it is just a Pugna. So we'll show some restraint. He has a Blink already, by the way, so Blink drums intact.
Whisper is mega farmed, as expected. It's such an easy lane. I think Pugna Lifestealer should be unlosable for Enigma +1. Lifestealer does nothing to your Eidolons. Pugna can't handle them alone, and your support just helps you bully the Pugna out, and then you're just CSing. So he's sitting on 80 and 11. The Lifestealer has kept up quite well in terms of the raw last hit numbers, but his net worth significantly lower from all the extra objectives OG have been able to claim. Enigma has 2 kills and the tower from mid. PMA,
Some action top.
Stomp.
BZM gets stomped by PMA. Seb coming in to try to get this residual kill. BZM dies first, though. That is big, and PMA might not even drop, although Tomato gonna waveform in.
Oh, he missed.
The Lotus was used. PMA's gonna live now. Double edge onto the Morphling. It's not quite enough, though. Tomato gets the kill, still on very low HP, as the Black Hole used onto the Arc Warden and the double. He gets some good Midas action before the inevitable death. And now Riddy's on the run, pig pulling away. 3 for 2. And that would have been absolutely disastrous for OG if Tomato died.
Yeah,
But
if the
he
skill
pulled it
build of
out.
Centaur was different, Tomato would have died. But Centaur's gone for a 3-2-3 build. So obviously getting some of the farm through Retaliate, but in that situation, Tomato was getting dangerously low. With the uphill miss, Centaur got to turn around and cast his spells, but not quite enough damage to get the kill. So
Yeah,
OG
if it
get
was
another
one
tower.
less in If it was one less in retaliate, one more in double edge, I think that's a kill. Probably.
Yeah, probably.
That was super close.
There's a double edge twice in that engagement, right?
Yeah.
So it's the little
With
things.
that tomato,
sometimes.
he has the finish. What's the reason for Morphling sometimes finishing Vlad, sometimes not?
This is one of the heroes I play the very least.
I would imagine it's because they want to group up a little bit early,
Yeah.
because you can see Whisper is also going for the drums into pipe, so not like a BKB, Octarine, which has been kind of the go-to for Enigmas.
Yeah, I assume it's just a pacing thing, but you're right. You generally buy at least the Morbid Mask on Morph, so you can safely, or not even necessarily that. You either buy the Morbid Mask or you buy some sort of regen. You get one or the other. But if you are buying the Morbid Mask, it's very common to upgrade the Vlads, especially if you have this sort of timing in the mid game, as you said. But when specifically you choose to not go for it, and what the reason is, I think is also a little bit up to individual player preference. But it definitely is painting a picture that Enigma is going pipe. I think that is the one that tells me the most about OG's read on the game, because the other games we've seen from Whisper, this has not been his preference. It's generally been that BKB route. But this time OG want to play a higher pace and probably end the game before Arc Warden becomes a problem.
Yeah. OG still playing quite aggressive as the smoke comes out from Navi. PMA likely to lead the way. The smoke pops, though. They don't have the vision on the high ground. Ari going to Shadow Realm a little early. Hoof Stomp does hit. Brambles to try to protect him. Gets to terrorize off. The Stampede is to follow. BZM, though, gets caught out, and he is destroyed. Got the juice. Gets credit for that one. And Ari going to be the second one killed on OG's side.
Oh, and Navi Jr. even have a nice steal right now. Terrorize, grabbed by the Rubik. It's a very good spell on this hero with the Arcane Supremacy. So, interesting. They might get their first tower of the game.
They just might, and that was pretty big for the Lifestealer. That gets him that much closer to the Radiance, since he's been kind of far behind this game. In fact, that catapults him ahead of BZM. As the Roshan now being attempted by OG, both Whisper and Tomato should be able to get this uncontested.
Yeah, I think this is also a very unexpected play for the side of Navi Jr., considering they just won this fight. This is not going to be on their minds as an immediate OG play. And yeah, that's a good play call. They'll grab this Aegis, probably put on Tomato, and when he has his Manta, maybe bring him to the fight. It's complete in 500 gold, so give him a minute. But still, all things considered, quite good for Navi Jr., right? Yeah, you lose this Roche, but they're only 1k behind. They're playing an Arc Warden strat. Their Lifestealer is now a hero with Radiance. I'm trying for this. Really good read from Got the Juice. I'm not sure what prompted this from him. It's like he started moving as the roll was commencing. Maybe he did see it? Oh yeah, there's that.
He has the Radiance now, and they know it. Can take out some Eidolons. That's good for Corpse Eater, but not going to go any further because of the threat of the Black Hole.
I think this
Definitely have an answer for the Rage.
This is the time where Enigma needs to consider, is the pipe actually the path? Like, do we feel confident we're far enough ahead in fights right now that we can end? He will commit, but this is going to come back to bite him if they don't control the next 15 minutes of the game, right? Then this pipe is going to fall off in value, and might have been better off getting the faster BKB for guaranteed black holes. There's only the Rubik spell steal to worry about. You could get BKB Lincolns with how good your game is and make sure you can lock down these enemy heroes. But not going to be the case now.
Yep, that's a good point. As there's a Stampede now, and the Hoof Stomp to follow. Terrorize.
He's killing himself in Blade Mail.
Ari's just dead. Yeah, Blade Mail, very effective here. And PMA now going for... Oh, he's also going pipe. That's a sight for sore eyes on Centaur. Feels like it's almost always Eternal Shroud if you want to go the Magic Resist.
Yeah, it's...
Whisper.
It's so much better for his team. When you're playing against Earth Spirit, the amount of magic damage that spreads is massive to block.
That's fair. Nope. BZM.
Nice
He gets
combo.
initiated by PMA, but the black hole onto 3 heroes. They're going to evaporate. Gleipnir by Niku. He's doing quite a bit of damage to Whisper, but he's going to be able to get away. Just like that. 1 black hole, 3 deaths. That sounds like a really disturbing video from back in the day. But go ahead, Syndra.
Nico could have maybe found a couple kills there if he brought his main, but only dared commit his clone there. He got the Enigma very, very low. A second Gleipnir and a couple of attacks. He had everybody under control, but couldn't quite get there. But a huge find for OG. Very, very nice setup. And importantly, you got the Rubik and the black hole. You feel great. That's name of the game for Whisper.
And we're going to see the replay here. Good rolling from BZM to disrupt PMA's initiation possibilities. Just canceling that Blink Dagger is enormous.
Yeah, look at that Arc Warden damage output. That's just one of him.
And that's just one item.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna
Unless you
get
count
worse than
Midas.
that. OG aggressing the top
Daze
tower.
steals attribute shift. He's going to be tanky the rest of the game. That's always a classic. Just don't go full agi.
True.
Don't have to worry about an invoker in the game though.
Yeah, just quick, hurry up and steal another spell so you can't misclick and lose your game. There we go. He stole it again. Okay.
Double the pleasure.
Oh,
So he has almost 2,000 health now because of that. That is one of the best. That's such a feels good spell to get on Rubik.
Especially considering the vast majority of the enemy's damage is magical in this case, so the armor is not very important. It's only really Morphling that's gonna do any physical side of OG. As the Tormentor taken, Riddies will get his shard. Not the best. But the cast range on Netherward is nice. That's honestly the biggest part of the shard for me. I think the whole draining your ward thing is very niche at a pro level. But always good to have the cast range on the ward.
Yeah, Netherward in general has been kind of in a weird spot ever since Blink did not cost mana anymore. Remember that?
Yeah.
That would disrupt a lot of combos back in the day. Got the juice. He's going to be surrounded here. Whisper does not have Black Hole. He's going to have to pop the Rage. Looking for an Infest target. They got to get closer, though. Gleipnir onto BZM. Hoof Stomp to follow. Tomato. They're going to get terrorized here. It looks like the Centaur's going really fast. Niku, his double gets destroyed right off the bat. Daze looks like he's going to be left to die as well.
They'll trade BZM
Although
off.
BZM does drop on the other side.
Yeah, he was in really deep
still
for
with
the
the
opener.
Aegis. Aegis is about to expire.
Black hole available once more now, so OG in very firm control of the map. They'll get. Did they get both wisdoms? Yes, so they got 2 wisdom runes. They trade BZM for the Rubik, which isn't the best trade, but their map positioning is really good right now. So they get to choose what they want to do, and they will just be taking the greedy approach. Farm up as much as possible, spread out, and try to continue building this advantage. Obviously, Tomato, we haven't talked about him too much. He's very rich. He keeps raking in the dough from his team, just creating all the space you could possibly want as a carry. And we'll be completing his Conda now. And now looking for a Swift Blink, it looks like. No, never mind. Just a Blink into Butterfly.
Oh, okay.
Not Swift Blink.
That's a true shotgun, though.
Yep.
I like it. BZM has fallen off a bit. Bottom of the cores in net worth. And it does feel like sometimes this happens to the... And maybe this is why Earth Spirit's not the most common mid lane Spirit brother. But I feel like he does farm a lot better than he used to. So
He does.
Is that even the case anymore, that he drops off?
Not
If you don't get like the ball rolling? No pun intended.
If he wasn't 2 and 4, he would be looking at some. He would probably have Eternal Shroud now, and then don't know what he would get next. But yeah, he's definitely been slowed down a bit. This hero does farm quite fast. It's not. I would say it's not as fast as the other Spirit Brothers at farming, but makes up for it with.
Oh, got the juice.
Other spellcasting.
Got the juice. Black hole on him. He's already put his rage out, but it's likely not to matter. And he is going to go down as Tomato comes in. Just to watch it happen.
Nice splitter timing
Navi
there from
Jr.
Seb as well, pulling him back in after he escapes the black hole. They get him back in their grasp, and they will get that big kill. Now, that was a black hole expended, so you would like to see Navi Jr. try something as soon as this lifesteal respawns. Have a good infest play with the Centaur, and if this fight starts on their terms, we have seen Arc Warden be able to get to work. Actually doing a ton of damage to these He's almost soloing him.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
And he rolls the auto attacks, kill him. Oh my goodness.
This hero's dirty when it gets to just stand and deliver on both fronts. They're going to turn this into more. Instant smoke. Lifesteal not alive yet.
He pops it. He's going to get telekinesis into the hook, stop it into the double edge. He's dead as well.
OG did not do their ward clearing here. They've been in control of this area, but this hill, unchecked. This ward has been here for 2 minutes. And Timato feels safe thinking that there's no way Navi Jr. have the vision, but they do. These kills are big. That's just the mid and the carry for free while your carry was dead.
Another hoof stomp, cancels the terrorize, and now the easy kill onto Ari to follow up. This is snowballing out of control, and now it's essentially an even game.
Now I was gonna say
Whisper. He blinks in. He doesn't have black hole. He puts down the midnight pulse, doing a lot of damage to Riddies and the Tempest double. Riddies will fall. Very aggressive play from Whisper, as if he had a black hole.
It worked out that time. Now I was gonna say this is starting to remind me a little bit of the chaos from yesterday from OG, but it was in a different way in that series against Entity than this. This is just heroes a little bit out on their own, getting caught off guard by Navi Jr. playing to win. You know, the fact that their lifesteal was dead did not stop them from trying to take whatever opportunities were given to them. And OG need to play a little tighter and respect these opponents a bit more, because we've talked this to death at this point. The spell casting on Navi Jr. is really good. They sure know how to press their buttons. Arc Warden is now going to go for the shard,
very quickly,
which makes his magnetic field slow enemies inside of it and reduce projectile speed. I'm not quite sure if this is what makes this a good purchase here.
Yeah, I think that's a new mechanic that they're testing. Is Seb, wrong place, wrong time. Days looking for more, gets the telekinesis onto BZM. Terrorize comes in, got the juice. I think he dodged it with the Manta style. That was disgusting. Ari now on the run, as they've already lost their mid laner and support.
Oh, they know where he is.
He does not have the Terrorize to work with. Days still has Terrorize for himself as well. So three kills for Navi Jr. I'd have to see the replay. Did he dodge Terrorize with Manta?
I did not notice in the middle of that. That is, I would say it's one of the, I don't know where that ranks in difficulty to dodge, because it has a very clear audio cue. But it also has travel time, so you need to read how far away the Willow is. So I actually want to say that's a quite hard one to dodge. Oh, Timato.
Yeah, he's all alone here, other than his illusion.
Oh.
He's going to have to waveform away. And now the Roche attempt. Roche number 2, this time for Navi Jr., but you can see OG want to contest this. They have Black Hole. They're going to smoke up as well. How fast is this? This is relatively quick. I feel like they might get it in time.
Yep, they will.
The Astral Spirit's on the way. Can it steal the Roche? No, not quite. It's actually pretty close. Got the juice, TP's out. Days, he'll be the sacrifice. But still, very good news for Navi Jr.
I think to some extent they've got over the scariest part of the game, and I say that as a team that's playing against Enigma ET late, but Arc Warden was always, this was always going to be his biggest weakness in this game was, well, what if OG just start playing really fast with their cores around this 15 to 25 minute mark? They've weathered the storm on that. This is an even game, and this hero is a total beast on high ground, lest we forget. Like, it's so hard to push if Arc is alive, and he has the net worth to make it happen here.
Got the juice, just walking wherever he wants, and everyone from OG just runs away. He's gonna rage, trying to get this wisdom rune. He does get it successfully, and he'll jump into a creep. Whisper. It's the Malefice on the creep. Not going to go any further. There's the hook stomp onto 2 of the double edge. It's a quad edge indeed. Terrorize comes out, though, and it's doing a lot. It hits basically everybody. Huge ET ult to follow. Got the juice kind of running around. He does have the Aegis, of course. Doesn't want to expend it so early, though.
Clean disengage.
Taken away by this Magnetize. Looks like he'll live. So no casualties, surprisingly enough. Boy, if Whisper was in position for a black hole there after the Terrorize, would have been filthy. That's one of the things of playing against an Arc Warden. Your blink gets canceled so often.
Yeah.
It is very, very annoying.
It is indeed.
I don't know if that's what happened there, but...
Now with the shard as well, he will have a bigger magnetic field, so more defense for his team primarily, I want to say, as they can maybe clip the edge a little more often. I don't know if there's a
NAVI Junior smoke, they've been scanned.
Oh, no. Wait. Oh, that's Ari.
Yeah, Ari tanking the gank. I mean, they knew they were in the area, so I think he was maybe thought he could get away fast enough.
This has been an uncharacteristically hard game for him in particular, I would say. We've seen him have some really stellar Willow performances and just great play in general, but this game, they have his number. He's 2-5-4. And all right, up to high ground we go. Got the juice, no hesitation. OG are not at home right now. A little glyph
Got the
soon,
juice
I would imagine.
knocking on the door.
There's that glyph.
Fortification.
Decrepify keeping the creep alive to keep the push going. Oh,
okay, a little misstep there from BZM. He gets stun locked. Does Whisper want to go in? I think they're just going to sacrifice him. Seb thinking about it, but no, it is not to be. 5 versus 4. And Got the Juice going to continue on inside that Arc Warden bubble. This tier 3 is dead. Can they fight without BZM? As long as Navi Jr. don't group up, should be able to take the fight if they really want, but they're going to back away, showing some restraint.
BZM needs to stop making these big blunders. He was already on a bit of a downswing yesterday on his Void Spirit, but he's just playing over aggressive in this game on his Earth Spirit as well. And I was praising him for his Earth Spirit plays in general. Just hasn't really been his tournament. I gotta say, it's not showing his best form, and it's costly when your mid hero is 2-7. It makes the game really difficult, and a couple of his deaths I think are fine because they're setting up for team fights that are going in OG's favor, and somebody's got to go in and get things started. But this move was, let's think about risk reward. You're rolling with a boulder, so you go really far against a lifestealer that has Aegis and Rage and sees you. At this level, he's going to dodge you 99 out of 100 times, either by sidestepping or by casting Rage. And then what's your plan B? He doesn't have an escape plan. If he has an Ags or something, he can turn himself to stone and kick himself out. Or if he had a Yules, like whatever, BKB. But he doesn't have the farm to play like this, in my opinion. Quite punishing mistake there. Costs him his life and the tier 3 tower.
Yeah, now it's looking kind of scary for OG. Remember that coming into this, they were, I don't know what the percentage you would have put on it, but they are definitely the favorites.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And just a little bit of, I don't know if it's miscommunication or what. The BZM, yeah, a little bit too aggressive.
Ari,
a little
do
too
they
many
see
times.
him? Oh, they don't. That was Centaur almost had vision of him. They could have just blink stomped his TP, but Ari does get out. And looking at the net worths of the game, it's one thing to look at the total gold, where it's very even, but OG has so much of the gold on one hero. So Tomato, the amount of responsibility, the weight on this guy's shoulders right now is immense. Because it's not just, the Morph against Lifesteal matchup, if you're looking at that, it's like, oh, it looks great for Tomato. He's going to own this Lifesteal, but the Arc Ward matchup is always going to be really, really scary. One misstep and you just get caught in the artillery. He's going to go either Orchid, Hex, or both on the Arc. And at this point, I think it's fair to say it's hard for OG to end this game before the 45-minute mark, right? Like, how are they going to do that? They have to find a really good team fight.
Very late game scenario for OG, but Navi Jr., if they continue with this trajectory, they could end it earlier than that. They have great tower pushing. And looks like Tomato. Oh, he actually did finish the MKB to go along with the Scotty now.
Yeah. He
So
needs it against
no more
Arc.
Radiance Burn. Have to worry about that. And the Arc Warden Bubble, of course.
But that's an extra downside in the matchup because Morph doesn't like buying this item. He generally needs this slot for something else, but there's just no excuse me, there's just no way around it. You have to have the MKB here. Now finally,
Actually, I don't
for
think
Whisper.
Magnetic Field has mischance anymore. I think they got rid of that, right? The evasion.
I don't
Pretty sure. I think it's. Yeah, I think that was changed.
Oh goodness, I am not an Arc Warden player, as you can tell.
You want the hero deleted, so it's understandable. So it's mainly for the Radiance Burn, I feel like, which I mean it's still a good item. So
Oh yeah, it gives allies attack range and bonus damage. Does Tomato know?
yeah, getting it just for Radiance does feel a little.
I don't know if I like the MKB now. I feel a little bit better about myself not knowing this fact when I see this MKB because I'm like, is it actually worth it? Like,
Got the juice. Being pursued. Hoof stomp onto Tomato. Terrorize being picked up by R. He's only at half HP on the Morphling. Has to use the Manta style. He's getting controlled though. The right click there's the Terrorize finally coming in just at the right moment as Tomato looking for the Pugna on the sideline. The Black Hole finally comes in. It's on two heroes right now. The Pugna looks like it's going to be the first to fall along with the Arc Warden. That is a huge kill for OG. They lose Whisper though. As the hoof stomp, you can see the infest onto PMA to keep him alive. And now Seb being pursued as BZM doing some nice job of blocking. But he's going to get open wounds. Tomato with the waveform. He's still alive, doing so much burst damage to this Centaur. Eventually will tick away. And now the question is, can they kill this Morphling? Absolutely. Got the juice. Has certainly got it for the Morphling, who's basically watered juice.
that
Juice is water.
Wow. All right. That's a
Go ahead.
bit of a stretch. That looked like a really good fight for OG, right? That's a bit concerning. If they get this good of an initiation, they had a Black Hole and Lifestealer and the Tempest double. Not the main arc, I believe. Or was it the main even? They had basically everything they would have wanted there. They had a Black Hole that got uninterrupted, channeled the full duration, not countered by Rubik. They had a Magnetized pulsing the whole time, and they still lost the fight despite killing Arc early. His clone did a lot of work afterwards, and Lifestealer managed to survive. So that was the moment I was like, okay, if OG are going to win this before Arc reaches critical mass, it's off finding a Black Hole, killing Arc without buyback, and then going high ground. That was the moment that this could have happened. It didn't. We're in for a guaranteed late game at this point. And I genuinely really favor the Radiant side in this. Whisper has to come up huge, but look at his items.
Yeah, he went for full utility.
Boots of Bearing, Pipe, and Shadow Blade. So he is so far off having this BKB refresher Lincolns that you would like to have in a late game scenario against this Rubik. It's just not even close. So now he has to play a much more challenging game of kind of a game of chicken against the Rubik, where it's about waiting for him to spell steal something else. But what if he doesn't? What if he just waits?
Got the juice. Taking apart. He had a butterfly temporarily, but took it apart for the nullifier. And he's in the pit. This is Roach number 3, has Aghanim Scepter. We can see the backstab attempt from OG. Astral Spirit is coming.
Have Black Hole.
It's going to hit PMA. This. Blink Dagger's canceled for the time being. They're going to see that in the pit they have exited. And even Got the Juice comes out just to take out the creep wave. And they're doing a full circle around. And there's the infest onto PMA. Looking for the initiation now.
Oh, they got it.
There it is. On top of BZM. Gonna get bashed up. Right click's coming in from the Arc Warden, doing so much damage. Got the Juice now focusing all of his efforts onto Tomato. Has to Manta and try to run away. Big Terrorize again on top of an Echo Stomp. So a lot of crowd control being used from OG. Oh, as BZM has a shield room, pops the BKB. PMA attempting to run away. The waveform in from Tomato. He gets the double. BZM still continuing. And Whisper looking for the Black Hole potentially. Niku, he's just going to die. They don't even need to use it. As Got the Juice showing himself now. Whisper coming in with the Shadow Blade. Still has the Black Hole. Finally using it. And that it was stolen at the last moment on 2 heroes as well. Whisper is dead as a result. Got the juice trying to TP out. He'll be able to do so. Tomato did not have vision. He's going to wait for him in. They should be able to kill the Rubik at the very least, although making it a little bit more difficult here at the last moment. But that is a 4 for 2 and no buyback. So it actually was OG favored. That was a very long, drawn-out fight. And we'll see if they can get Roche on the top of that.
Yeah, Willow Ari somehow survived that. He got hit 5 times by Lifestealer. He was down to 10%, got off his Glimmer, and cut off to the side. And that meant that a ton of the time Navi's carry was effectively hitting into nothing, right? He needed a full 5 seconds to reconnect to the fight on the right, and while that was happening, the Centaur as well as the Arc Warden were getting absolutely chunked down by all of the spells of OG and Tomato. You get to see this Aegis now in the hands of OG, a little bit of a breather. Finally something for them going well. It's felt like a terrible last 10 minutes, but now we have
Who gets the Ags? Because that has not been consumed yet. This is going to be about a 5k lead once somebody eats that. It might be Earth Spirit himself.
The choice. And I want to say it's extra good on BZM because he's not playing the game of his life, so this gives him an extra defensive layer as he's going in.
So he can enchant a hero to turn them into stone and manipulate them any which way, which is, in theory, very strong. We've seen it win games in the past. We've seen it be blundered, though, as well.
Yeah.
End up being quite useless.
Radiant are scanning.
BZM does have the BKB. That was the first... actually, that was the second use of the BKB there. He's going for Octarine next. And the question for Whisper is, I guess you do go BKB now, but you're right. He kind of put himself in kind of, like, no pun intended, a bit of a hole with this build.
Yeah.
Pigeonhole, more specifically. And it's not like you can, because you're running out of inventory slots too, and you don't want to sell any of this. It's very awkward.
All right. Got the juice with a big item pickup here. He disassembled his Radiance to make the Nullifier, and now he has a BKB as well. So 25 Rage Talent, BKB. This guy is going to be tough to kill without the Black Hole. 4,400 health, BKB, Manta, Infest on the Centaur. Plenty of ways to stay alive here. A little bit of FPS issues here. What a clutch play in that last fight, by the way, from Daze. That's that patience I'm talking about. He was waiting the whole time for the Black Hole to come out, stole it instantly and counterplayed. Without that, the Lifesteal was gone. This would have been a much, much worse fight for Navi Jr.
Seb has sheep. And I mean, he has the shard, so he can actually, if he wants, get in up close to be able to get the sheep off. So it's almost like a mobility type thing. But that one's really hard to use, so
it's a potential game winner, though.
It is.
If he gets a Hex out of Glimmer onto... I'm wondering who your best target is if you had free choice, if you actually even want to Hex the Lifestealer. I think you want to Hex a support and just kill them instantly and develop the fight. It's unlikely that OG can full burst the Lifestealer with the protection he has. He's going to have a Pugna with Aether Lens and Glimmer Cape protecting him a lot of the time. Surprised Rubik doesn't have his shard, I would say. I wonder if he's going to just try to get it for free. He's going BKB. Huh. All right.
Is there a reason Got the Juice is keeping the talisman in his backpack? Is he going to make the Radiance again, or?
That's a good question. Does he have any plans for this? I
mean, I don't. This is not the type of game you go Heaven's Halberd, because
and you don't go butter either.
Here.
I think you might as well just sell it, right?
I think so. Maybe waiting for once he sells it, he needs to have enough, right, to buy whatever he wants. Doesn't have enough quite yet.
Well, if he sold it right now, he would have buyback. That's a pretty good argument.
True.
But
damage rune on Tomato, level 25 now. Less cooldown on waveform. Has backpacked his Conda, actually. Although the bottle will likely replace that eventually. And they can go for the Tormentor if they want. Not the biggest of steals this late into the game, but better than nothing, as Ari will get his shard. So Curse Crown adding the Bramble. Got the juice, level 25. So he has the extra second of rage now.
So just to clarify,
And the
Shan.
BKB.
Okay, let's see if he's fine here. Seb, a little bit out of position.
Whisper
We'll
showing
get
himself.
bailed out.
Stampede used. More of a defensive measure, though.
So just to clarify again about the arc, now I checked it just to make sure we're not completely uninformed. The clone's magnetic field does give 100% evasion.
Okay, so that's the flip-flop.
Yeah, it's the
aspect, right?
main that doesn't. So the MKB of
Okay,
Tomato
Manta
is
on
useful.
Tomato, trying to man up against. Got the juice, the roll in. Onto the centaur, turns him to stone, kicks him out of his own base. He doesn't have Stampede to get away anymore. Double is already killed, and look at the
Tomato?
centaur all alone, completely separated. Tomato, he was all alone as well. The Hoofstomp is actually going to connect. Do they have enough right-click damage to actually bring him down? Does have the Aegis for another 50 seconds, so not the biggest of deals. Echo Stomp connecting on the two right now. The
Stone
centaur
Terror's
looks to be
not
dead. There's
black
stolen
hole.
terror, but the black hole on top of that stolen black hole again, and that one is doing massive damage along with Niku on that Arc Warden. Aegis is gone, and now Tomato on the run. Gets the waveform off, attempting the TP, but the Gleipnir will cancel it. It's still going to take a while to take down this absolute beast of burden. Echo Stomp making even more difficult for the Lifestealer. Tomato waveforms to the north. This has such low cooldown that he is probably fine at this stage. They do have Blink Telekinesis, though. There it is. Gleipnir again.
Satanic to break it.
Satanic, he has Manta in 4 seconds, trying to fight his way out of this, but it might be too late for him. 100 seconds
Holy
with the
shit.
buyback, though, but my goodness, that was a lot of back and forth.
Can you want anything more out of your Rubik than that? He terrorizes 2 heroes, and then the Enigma comes in for the black hole immediately, instant steal, and then he black holes 3 heroes. Just Days with the huge play to keep Navi Jr. in the game there. And as you said, the way this fight broke out, it looked promising for OG. Sure, the Morph is isolated in the enemy base, but you're killing the Centaur, and Morph has the Aegis, so you have the man advantage. But Days with some incredible Rubik play keeps the game alive now, still for Navi Jr. And again, we come back to begging the question, is Whispers build the build? Where's the Lincolns? Clearly Days has his number, so he is still not planning a Lincolns. He's planning Octarine now. I think this is the type of game where you need to protect that black hole now. It's too important of a tool.
Oh, got the juice. So they get the full set of racks. They're going for Throne, trying to force this buyback. There's the Arc Warden bubble.
Oh, shit.
One of them does evasion. We'll never know which. BZM. Okay, he's dead. No buyback either. And now the Abyssal Blade onto Seb. Okay, the tier 4 is completely destroyed. Ancient completely exposed, and the game is just over. What just happened?
He loses almost nothing when he replaces items such as Bracer, but then his
What's that
buyback is
spray
50%
paint?
more expensive. That's
It's just a white block.
Okay. I'm gonna give this a 50-50 between Valve messed something up and Valve approved this. Either is bad, but you know. Yeah, so what you do on Doom with this, I've seen Amar with this build, he would go like 3 or 4 bracers and just get insane mid-game strength, and then he just sells them, and it costs him almost nothing, right? So usually the trade-off when you buy multiple bracers is that, yeah, it's nice, but you know, eventually you pay the price. Doom doesn't really. So just get all the little items you want to get yourself as big of an advantage as you can early. Generally, that is going to just be multiple bracers is the best purchase there. Okay, Whisper leading the charge. No fight for the rune. They will yield, give OG this one, but it looks like there will be a trade down bottom for Days. Days could actually get... No, he can't get the other one, can he? This is close. He's not going to try, I think. No, he's not going to. No, he's not going. He'll respect the troll, and he would have been slower anyway to get to it. So 2 for 2 split once more.
So other facets that are worth talking about. Pango goes for the double jump, no big surprise. Seb's Phoenix. This is the first time that I've even... Wait, he went for hotspot. Never mind. I thought it was the other one for a second. I thought it was the other one.
We had...
Oh, yeah.
We had
It is the
Whitemon
other.
take the the Radiance one yesterday.
Yeah,
as
I
support.
think 2 heroes. We had the mid and the support both
Yeah.
go for the
Dying.
other one.
I think it's called Dying Light. If I remember
Right,
correctly.
so this one is the Sun Ray related one, deals more damage at the tip of the ray. And aside from that, pretty standard, other than the Dark Willow going for the more Spell Amp related one during Shadow Realm instead of the Brambles. Always interested in that one. Seems to be, I mean, I feel like most people have made up their minds on the facets that are good for the heroes and they almost never switch. And then Dark Willow is like a 60-40.
Yep.
That's a cool one.
It's almost like people are likely to choose one or the other when they're both good. But
Yep, that could be right.
on a lot of the heroes, only one is really good.
All right, we had this discussion before about Lifestealer's other facet, which is Unfettered, I believe,
Yeah.
which gives you the ability to hard dispel yourself while stunned, which is huge, but you lose the spell immunity. You get less magic resistance, and it's just, and you don't get Corpse Eater, which is the biggest
The
thing.
biggest
So
thing is that you don't get Corpse Eater.
Right, so if you get Corpse Eater, meaning the HP with creeps, if both of them gave that, which one is better? As a PMA, getting a nice hoof stomp onto 2 in the bot lane. Tomato.
So you're effectively
gonna back
asking if
away.
Unfettered is worse than having no facet. Right?
I think it's situationally better,
Yeah.
but very situationally better. So my question is Unfettered better than Rage? Just 1-to-1 without
that's-
thinking about Corpse Eater.
That is a good question. It seems like... Dude, I can't answer that. I would have loved to... Let's do a little letter patch where we remove Corpse Eater and see what the pros do. Just do it for one day and then
They just
put it
won't
back.
pick Lifestealer.
Yeah, then they just don't... That's true. Honestly true.
Niku doing a good amount of damage in the mid lane, gets an onslaught off on the BZM as well. He went for the typical ferocity facet, which increases your AoE.
And now Niku's
Based on
doing the
uproar
cutting
stacks.
as expected. So he will just keep pulling this wave. We'll bring it up to here, and then he will trample it together with a medium cam. And this will out-level the Pango, so Primal Beast will get the 6 first. See if they can make a pulverized play out of that.
Yeah, that's nice.
BZM,
BZM trying to leech a little bit
yeah,
XP
this
though.
is the way to do it for Pango. You need to pull over the other wave to try to share the neutral creep experience, and then even maybe steal the last hit. This is welcome to
really
mid
cool.
lane in quotation marks, as we're not laning even anymore.
He's got 3 uproar stacks.
Yeah.
He is going to get the Wild Wing.
Tower is under attack.
Top lane also kind of all over the place. Lanes are not meeting up properly. If you're watching Dota for the first time now, I'm so sorry. I really apologize. As the
Okay.
first blood comes, the one lane we're not watching is the Troll Warlord. Mr. Tomato gets taken out.
PMA seems to know how to play Centaur in lane. Like that is, we were mentioning that this team's biggest weakness was probably their early laning stage in the series against Tundra. When PMA is on the Centaur, this lane just goes well. This is 2 back-to-back games where they kill the carry early on, and this time it's even the first blood, so Centaur will get quite a lot of value. To answer your question about the boots, now we're actually seeing it. They are arriving. He gets
Yeah.
30 move speed out of the 45 currently from the boots.
I see.
Goes from 320 to 350. In this lane, I think the chainmail is much better than the previous one. But despite that, he still wants the boots. And I mean, can you blame him? They're ahead. He's doing well in the lane. They want to put pressure with him and Willow. With the boots, he has a chance of reaching Troll. Let's keep that pressure on.
Yeah, it's I don't know if I like that this works this way. Makes me
Whisper.
Whisper, very low.
3
Trying
opponents
to
on him.
chase the Dark Willow, but it is not to be. Shadow Realm from afar. That's a nice little rotation there for Navi Jr. Which means PMA is all alone. Will he survive this?
Yes.
Looks like it.
That's the luxury that Willow has in this game, is if Centaur is doing well, you'd get the opportunity to leave. Troll Phoenix is a very strong lane, but they don't inherently kill a tanky hero, they just put pressure to win. So with the early head start that PMA has, he can stabilize this and hold his own for a bit. Now he will be running out of resources somewhat soon, but... Oh.
Brambles on the top side of the river. The rune is bottom, though. Arcane rune. Looks like
Here
BZM will
comes
be
Niku,
able
level 6.
to grab
Ari
it.
is dead.
Pulverize. There it is. But the Rolling Thunder to try to cancel it. Does so successfully. Ari will eventually go down to the right clicks of the Primal Beast. And BZM finishes the combo to get the kill onto the support. So 1 for 2 in favor of OG. Only support's dead.
And BZM will also get the rune. So a much better start for him than what we've seen in some of the games.
I have another question about a matchup that wasn't really the same as of a year ago. I might have to hold that thought, actually. There's a TP bottom. Bramble holds Tomato in place. Double edge into the hoof stomp. Another double edge to come. It's only level 1, though, but with Riddies here with that kinetic field, looks like they might have enough damage, although they have to retreat now that BZM has made his way over. He swashes into a Bramble. Pretty unfortunate.
PMA is aggressive.
PMA really low.
He's not gonna live
He's
here.
very aggressive. He does have the Lotus.
He has heals.
He has the Lotus. Swash is only level 2.
No, he's fine.
Shield Crash misses, and yeah, he's fine. And he's going to get the Wisdom Rune for his troubles if he wants it.
Probably gonna leave that for Disruptor. They really want 6s on their supports. It's very, very important in this game.
So anyway, back to the matchup that I was discussing. So Doom versus Lifestealer. Back in the day, Lifestealer, I'm not saying any hero likes to be Doom necessarily, but Lifestealer was one of the ones that really didn't care that much.
Yeah.
Now that it's been changed that you can't heal, how bad is this for Lifestealer, would you say?
It's pretty bad.
Is it bad enough you need to itemize like a Lincoln's or something like that?
Not
that feels really
necessarily,
bad.
but you need to be a little bit more careful with your plays, which is, you know, it's extra pressure on you the whole game to not slip up. I guess compared to certain other heroes, it's probably still not the worst. Like, it sounds bad to not lifesteal on the lifestealer, but if he's tanky enough anyway, he might just be one of the heroes that can outlive the Doom. Just from raw health, right? So, I think it's okay. I would not advise buying a Lincoln's, I think. Unless he absolutely feels like he has to. Because there's still Lincoln's breakers, right? Ari can just spell steal it the whole game. You can't prevent that with Rage even. So
True.
probably just beef up, be a really strong presence in the fight, and try to play around initiative rather than being as scared to get doomed. Try to play to be the ones leading the charge. We'll see though. It's a very interesting situation because the carry matchup is also Troll. Can you really buy Ags and Lincolns in the same game here? Maybe that's a little bit too much of low damage items.
Right. Maybe somebody else can buy the Lincolns then. I mean, Lotus won't do
that's
it.
fair.
Reflecting it doesn't really matter that much.
Absolutely could buy Lincolns on a hero like Centaur. After he has his core items, he's one of the heroes that can.
BZM just going to steal the bounty and be on his way as Niku takes a pretty decent stack that he accumulated here over some time. But mostly people farming at this stage. PMA has his phase boots, single bracer into the blade mail, so exact same build that we've seen.
Just realized.
Got the juice, the radiance to come.
Just realized from Riddies there, has OG used a single voice line yet this series? I think that's generally an indication of how confident and good they're feeling. If nobody's using those voice lines, you know, this
Bad
is
vibes.
the voice line team.
That's a good point.
And they use them for no reason as well. They just use them just cause.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen much of it.
I'll be honest, I've tuned them out so much in the past that I don't I wouldn't remember
I know.
if they've occurred.
I guess the only
Unless
reason
it's
it
my
stands
voice
out to
line,
me is that I'm
yeah.
just used to OG using 1 per minute, you know.
If I hear yours or mine, I'll remember it because nobody bought them.
Yep,
so
that's
it's like
right.
a rare Pokemon or something. TP top. Whisper, is he spotted? Yes. Glimpse into the kinetic field. Got the juice. Apply some pressure along with Niku. Whisper is super dead.
Beaten to
Nice
a
play
pulp.
from Navi Jr. And it will be BKB first item for Niku.
What a way to die. You get slammed by a dinosaur and eaten by a ghoul at the same time.
Sounds painful.
That's terrible.
So got the juice going for the Radiance. Whisper also going for Radiance, by the way. Is that a normal Doom item these days? It used to be back in the day, like a long time ago.
It varies. Sometimes people still get this. Sometimes you get the Shiva first. Sometimes you can even get the dagger.
Action top. Rolling Thunder from BZM, ignoring the Life Stealer. It'll be all for Riddies. Stampede used to make this play a little bit more difficult, but oh, BZM actually hits a cliff. Doesn't matter. Seb should be able to get
But he bought
the
whatever
kill.
time he could. But
Yeah.
in the end will fall. And this should be a top tier 1 for OG. So nice rotation, 10-minute siege wave. They want to put it to good use. And they will be getting this. They will force out a glyph for now. Got the juice in the meantime, going mid, using the glyph to keep their siege creep alive. Oh, he missed up. It got one attack off on it. Well, anyway, Ari's defending, so not the biggest of deals.
He's got Pulverized, level 1.
Yeah, that's a good steal.
Days already just, I mean, I shouldn't say already, 300 gold from already having a Blink Dagger on the Dark Willow. That is very fast.
Yeah, he's skipping the arcane boots. I think a lot of the times we see Willow still get at least one build-up item before either Glimmer or Dagger, but Days wants to get it immediately. Except being a bit of an issue right now. Yeah, this is kind of slow. I think overall OG probably quite happy with just getting that tier 1 tower, feeling like all their 3 cores are farming. You know, Tomato's getting his, despite having his 2 deaths, he's still having a good time in terms of farm. The Doom, yeah, he also died, but he also died twice, but still also has good net worth. Like the gold on the side of OG is actually looking very surprisingly healthy for the amount of deaths their cores have. So
OG, they did scan. And Days, oh, he's so close to that Blink Dagger. Unfortunate. Loses a good chunk of gold. Riddy spotted as well by BZM, but we might see that glimpse play you were talking about, Synderen. There it is. Into the Static Storm. He's a little bit tankier than it seems. The Stampede there, though, and that is a great trade for Navi Jr.
BZM.
I was waiting for you to say it.
I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Okay, against basically literally any other support in Dota, that was fine. But specifically Disruptor, there was a 0% chance of killing him. He did not have backup. It's just a little bit of extra harass, and it's a little bit extra greed. He knows this play exists. He knows it's a risk, and he takes it anyway. And it's funny because this reminds me, this is a phase that sometimes happens to players where, you know this from yourself as well. You have a voice in the back of your mind telling me, don't do this, and then you do it anyway. It's almost like that happens for like a week sometimes in Dota. It's really weird, but it's a real thing.
Or a career, in my case.
I think right now he needs to listen more to his inner voice and try to fight those demons just as much as the enemy team, because it's just a bit too much. Honestly, this time he was having a great game. He was 2-0-2.
Whoa, they got the Pulverize and the Doom on top of got the juice.
Good ward.
He's dead. Luckily for him, he did purchase the Sacred Relic not too long before that, but the real Pulverize onto BZM, Rolling Thunder.
Nice glimpse, nice stat. Oh, very well done.
That is very unfortunate for BZM.
Clean.
Another death to his name, so 1 for 1 in the end.
Oh, it's just good spell casting from Riddius, just full on maximizing everything he had. Glimpsed him just before the Rolling Thunder was complete, and then as the second cast comes out, he then Static Storms. BZM effectively is just wasting his time trying his best to do anything. So
Tomato, he's got a 15-minute Battle Fury now.
Yeah. He's without a doubt going to get farmed, just like game 1, but is it going to be enough?
Okay, here's my question about the Radiance on Doom. Is it because you can sell it? Like, you use it to get mega farmed, and then just sell it later? That's pretty cool.
That's a very, very late game way of thinking.
Well, his issue last game was not. It was the opposite, right?
True.
It was very short-term thinking.
Yeah. He's not. The thing is, Doom isn't likely to disassemble this, right? He doesn't want to. Oh.
Pulverize coming out from Niku onto the Rubik. It's the lift up though. Rolling Thunder on the way. The counter pulverize. It only lasts a few moments. And BZM.
They have glimpse for BZM.
Not able to, he's actually just stuck
in an
here.
awkward spot.
Yeah, gets off the shield crush. Not really hitting anything though, but the rest of his team has arrived. PMA, Stampede away, and it looks like
Days might
that'll
live
break most of this up.
Okay.
Days should be dead. So it'll be a 1-for-1 support for support.
He would have lived if he TP'd, but I think he did. He wasn't aware that Whisper was cutting back to him there. So we'll take the L. Yeah. I'm thinking mainly about Tomato. So last game he had a really good farm on the morph and still was shut down. I'm looking at the matchups here for Troll, and I think there's a couple of dangers, right? When you ult, you can get kited by Stampede. Pulverize is going to be a problem for Troll the entire game. Reduce death.
Oh, that was close.
That was close indeed. And we've talked about Lifestealer, but he is more than likely getting an Axe as well for the Troll. So
no doubt. PMA taking some Sunray now. Whisper uses the Doom just in case. That is a dead Centaur, but reinforcements from Navi Jr. have arrived. Beautiful Bramble has got the juice. We'll be going on to Whisper, and the egg should be taken out relatively easily.
Nice response.
And the Radiance is there for got the juice.
Very quick response to that Doom kill. Or the Centaur kill, excuse me. Basically got burnt as much as you can. Scorched Earth plus Sunray. It's... He got cooked, but it was worth it. 2-for-1 trade plus tower. Now forgot the juice.
Okay, I keep coming back to this, Sinrim. The Radiance on Doom. All right.
Yeah.
New theory. You use it to farm a bit.
Yeah.
Then eventually you take it apart to get the halberd, and then you sell the Sacred Relic for something else.
Yeah, that's true. It's
not that bad.
It's so uncharacteristic to even think about that option, and specifically
It's-
only because
yeah.
of the facet that it makes sense to even entertain the idea, right?
Which is why it makes it cool. It's a cool facet.
It's
I like
cool.
it.
Is the halberd really worth it? I honestly, I don't think he's disassembling this. I think he'll hold it the whole game. Maybe sell it the full item, if anything, when he's capped out. I don't see a disassemble play that's appealing enough. Like if Doom could somehow use a nullifier or whatever, it would be one thing. Oh, BZM static storm.
Onto BZM. Terrorize on top. Do they have the damage?
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna get rooted. Pulverize is there, and that's gonna finish him off.
Ari as
Whisper
well.
showing off that new Radiance, but he's on the high ground, kind of segregated from the rest of his lineup. Is Tomato
He gets glimpsed
going
away.
onto the Life
no.
Stealer, glimpsed out of the picture, and now Seb will likely be run down. 3-for-0 for Navi Jr. And Tomato, all he can do is go back to farming to get that BKB to prevent that from happening next time.
And another tower. Spaghetti-O. Is this the beginning of an upset? Well, I guess we already had the beginning of the upset. It's still early days. It's a 1k lead. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But again, just the level of crispness that we've been used to seeing from OG in recent tournaments, I think fair to say just not quite there. Really need to find the solution sooner rather than later before this gets out of control. Lifestealer, we'll get our question answered. Don't think Lincoln's is in the cards when he goes Sanjin Yasha. Think that's just going to be his approach to dealing with the Doom. Instead...
Yep, that's fair. I would guess that the Ags comes after the SNY is finished.
Yeah, that's likely.
And then he'll need damage after that for sure. Or at least stats. I mean, Scotty at some point might not be too bad against this troll. PMA on the Centaur is going for the pipe again. As Whisper, he's spotted by Daze. They have a ward here. Trying to set something up as Niku's on his way. Doesn't hit the onslaught as he blinks right over Whisper. Okay, interesting. Stampede. And the glimpse brings him back into the pulverized static storm.
Seb is screwed too.
Seb,
Nice stomp.
hoof stomp mid-dive. Holy jeez. Navi Jr. just playing out of their minds.
They're crushing them.
The prodigies.
Yeah. Great map movements. And again, I mean, how many times are we going to say their spellcast is just really good, man? Like, it's... At some point, we got to stop talking about it as a surprise and just be like, this is what we're expecting. Because they're doing it literally every game. Just really, really good mechanical skill. OG, they need to solve the problem with strategy rather than just outclassing because it doesn't seem like they're in a league of their own today. Sanjin Yasha now complete, forgot the juice. Very fast on the lifesteal. He's actually hasted when he uses phase boots because of the Gossamer cape.
Not bad.
And now both BKBs
Riddy's
coming
is
out.
1500 from Ags, by the way. So that is going to come really fast on the Disruptor.
That's a very fast Disruptor Axe on position 5.
Dota is such an interesting game now.
Yeah, Philosopher's Stone will help him out.
Helps.
BKB completed for Tomato on the Troll, as well as for the Primal Beast of Niku, which means effectively OG still have counterplays to the Primal. They can Doom him, or they can Pulverize him and steal that even during BKB and then try to turn the play around on them, but it's a lot more protection now. Also a Pipe on PMA. There's a lot of mitigation coming Navi Jr.'s way. Fights were to break out right now, I would definitely favor their side. The Troll, sure, you've got the BKB, but the damage is still not too much of a concern. You're 3k up against Doom, so the net worth even a little bit inflated in terms of, generally speaking, Doom's impact to gold ratio is different. Seb is in trouble. Seb's dead.
Yes, he is. Niku, in the meantime, the bot side of the map, they're going to find Whisper. Gets off the onslaught into the Static Storm. Another Pulverize has got the juices here to likely get the last hit. Indeed, 2 HP for him and a kill.
OG are falling apart. They're just getting caught all over the place. They're not coordinating the plays. Navi are just a step ahead, it seems, at every turn. This tower is gone. OG gonna TP heroes in here, but it's already lost. BZM.
Yeah, tower's gone. BZM again with the Rolling Thunder. Gonna whip Riddies.
About the Glimpse play now too, perhaps.
Disruptor inside his own kinetic field. They do find Tomato. Pops the BKB, getting healed by Seb. The fact that they forced it, I mean, Niku popped one of his own as well, but they'll back away. So right now, 1 for 1. That's a Doom for a Disruptor. And for Tomato, he will be going for an Aghanim Scepter as the third item. Now that he has the Battle Fury BKB, he can get out of the Brambles, and he can take off Open Wounds, take off Thunderstrike. It's pretty good on the self-dispel.
It's definitely a decent game for it, but it does delay his true damage output, I guess you could say. Oh, hang on. This is a dangerous Tormentor there. All right.
He's fine.
Yule is good.
Zeus.
So Tormentor Sweat trade-off. Whisper gets his Scorched Earth upgrade, which heals him and his controlled units, which is nothing. Very underwhelming shard this game, I think.
Unless you get Bloodstone with the Radiance, Cinderin.
Yeah, you don't. And Riddy's gets his on the Disruptor, which is quite good. Extra strikes on Thunderstrike. It makes it... He can, honestly, he can keep vision on Pango, right? As soon as he sees the Pango, even in ball, he can just throw a Thunderstrike on him. It lasts so long that he'll be able to glimpse him back. So that's a nice little pick-me-up for him.
Roche is going to go back to the other side in a minute, and Navi Jr. want to take advantage of this window that they have this side of the map to themselves. If they can do it fast enough, that's going to be a freebie for Got the Juice. He's going to need help, though, no doubt about it.
This is not a fast Roche lineup. But the Willow with the Facet. Some good damage.
BKB there for Whisper now. We haven't really... I mean, he sold his some branches. I think that's all he's done for this facet so far. It's very underwhelming.
No.
I'm waiting for the big item.
20 gold extra per. The thing is, the other facet just isn't that good, right? So it's another case of...
That's the 2 charges on Devour, but it's longer cooldown, right?
Yeah, so it's actually, it's a net worth decrease getting that one.
Ari pops the smoke. Does he know about it? Yes, he blinks away, but he's going to get pursued. Nice telekinesis, but doesn't look like it's going to matter. That's the whole Navi Jr. side surrounding him. It's only a 1k lead, but it is against the Doom. I'm not sure how prevalent that is. It's not like an Alchemist, but it is something to speak of. BZM. He's spotted by Got the Juice. He's
And
not
he's on
afraid.
his
Has the
tail.
Aegis.
He's not stopping.
He's very fast with this Ghoul Frenzy. We'll pop the Rage. Terrorize is there onto 2. Tomato runs right into a Bramble. Got the Juice. Will infest a creep. Now they know BZM's ult's down.
He's giving them all the
kind of a
vision
big
here
get.
for a potential glimpse. They might force a BKB out of that. Riddy's is not close enough, though.
Gets off the open wounds as well. Continue with the Ghoul Frenzy chase. And Yules will likely bring this, whatever the hell that was, to an end.
He has Ags on the Disruptor already. It's actually just... Oh. It's a good look. Everybody on Navi Junior playing really well.
That's going to be 2 BKBs they can prevent with the Static Storm.
Yeah. I mean, the dream engagement is jumping the troll with Hoof Stomp and then Agsing him. Static Storm. And then just kill him on the spot.
Tier 2 tower, going to be fortified now. Got the Juice working on a Basher. Still 3 minutes on the Aegis, though, so... Has the newly minted BKB yet to actually be activated. Gonna get telekinesed. Can they expend this Aegis?
Whisper.
There's a Disruptor ult. Whisper cannot pop BKB. It's a surprise. He's dead.
He had
Infest
no
onto
idea.
Niku, all that extra HP and move speed, but the Yules will prevent them from going any further. Got the Juice ignoring the tier 2 tower, putting the open wounds onto Tomato. Terrorize being faked out. Terrorize coming now. It's going to hit several heroes with the Pulverize on top. And Troll Warlord finally gets off the ult along with the BKB, going ham onto Niku. They're going to be able to get him as BZM and that Rolling Thunder coming in. That's the Aegis. So Primal Beast dead. That's a big one as PMA coming with the double edge and the Hoof Stomp, but Got the Juice is back. Gets the open wounds onto the model, but now tries to run away as they lose their Centaur. Riddy's going to get Yules'd mid-TP. A good defense from OG, despite that being a pretty good start with the Static Storm, just taking Doom completely out of the equation.
Yeah, just absolutely crucial there that Tomato is tanky enough to survive the initial burst. They really committed everything onto him, but he gets his ult off, and that changes things completely. So OG, they stay alive. That could have got really scary with the Doom dying, as you said, to start that all off with the surprise Ags reveal. But of course, that also means the Ags wasn't there for the follow-up chase, and can't blame Navi for feeling confident there with their Aegis. But OG are still... They're stable when they're there. I think their main problem in this game has been having the right heroes in the right place at the right time. They've kind of been outnumbered on a lot of moves, been caught off. But now perhaps a bit of momentum going their way. Days will be caught off here. An extra kill.
He has died.
Did you look at that? OG get a couple of kills, and here are the voice lines.
That's good news, potentially, for OG fans. It is just Ari doing it, though. It's like when mother and father are fighting, the son trying to give out all the positive vibes possible. Ari quite young, of course. That's the reference, Cinderin. Didn't mean to make that personal, of course. As the S&Y now is completed for... Who was that, actually?
Wait, there's a second
Is there
S&Y?
I thought I saw it on the screen, but... Oh, it's in Tomato's backpack right now.
Oh, he has another full
in
item on
his
top of this, man.
inventory.
Yeah, he did get a lot of
he's
gold,
strong.
so yeah, he's definitely...
I'm a little surprised we haven't seen the Ags yet for Got the Juice, though. Not prioritizing the disarm for the Troll. I feel like when Troll ults, you just pop in and
Yeah.
pretty much just waste a good portion of that ultimate. Tomato spotted in the top. Niku halfway to
jump
his
on him.
Ags. He's spotted. There's the Static Storm. Pulverize. He's just dead. BZM coming with the Rolling Thunder, but it's a little bit too late. Question is, can they get anything out of this? The Infest inside of the Centaur.
Seb as well?
Whisper. Getting gone on. Pops the BKB, and he's just trying to run away now. The Doom applied to the Centaur, but it really doesn't matter. He gets glimpsed back. He's open wounds as well inside the kinetic field. Meanwhile, you can see the Centaur playing a little bit with Ari. So 3 dead for OG as Ari attempting to run, but it's only a matter of time before he gets brought down as well. 4 for nothing.
I don't know what I was expecting.
Wards win games, Sunsfan TV. That's that ward right there. Seeing the troll and Ag Static Storm immediately applied after the first stun. No counterplay available for Tomato at all. If OG aren't there immediately, instantly counterplaying with some sort of big save, it's just not happening. You can tell the mindset here, right? Seb is buying Wind Waker, first item on his Phoenix. He knows that this is going to be about saving whatever hero gets piled on first from Navi Jr. He's actually kind of close to it on the Phoenix, which is rather impressive given how this game has gone. But still a bit of ground to cover, like another 1,500 gold-ish before they get that item.
Yeah,
I wonder
Philly
if he's
Stone
eventually
really
going to
putting
buy
in a lot of
Axe
work.
too for another save.
Could be.
It feels like it
Speaking
could
of
be the end game.
Ags, Niku has his. And in terms of breaks, I mean, it's not like it's bad this game. You have Fervor,
Yeah.
but it's really about the damage
Gives
more
you a
than
great lucky
anything.
shot as well.
That's
Pulverize.
true. Niku, pulverized. That is a dead BZM again. Tomato thinking about going in. This might cost him. He's popped the BKB along with Whisper. They need to get something out of this. As Day's ready with his ult, the Static Storm on top, and the focus again onto Tomato, the egg, trying to keep him alive. He does get his ultimate off, but he dies right after. Disaster for OG again. And the Yules onto Whisper will lead to a third kill. And again, it's just OG's getting nothing. 1 for 3. That's basically nothing.
They chose a 4v5. Their Pango was dead, and then they wanted to take the fight, and Pango didn't buy back. So again, are they on the same page here? Is this the type of fight you want to take 4v5? If you want to take this fight, sure, you got to bring your Pango for that. Navi Jr. have already proven that they're really, really strong when they're together. They're not, I mean, they're playing with an open hand. They're showing exactly what they want to do. And OG just pick it anyway. Just another huge mistake, in my opinion. You could have cut your losses on the Pango and been like, all right, that's a shitty death, but whatever. Instead now, with the amount of, I feel like the pressure has really got to be getting to them. Just multiple unforced errors back to back.
And look at this, how safe they're playing. There was no creeps, so backdoor protection kicks in. They're not going to force the issue for the melee racks. They don't know the buyback situation. If they see that it's 5v4 and there's still 20 seconds of no troll, for sure, they probably at least finish the melee.
God, the Juice has got an MKB now as well. Yeah,
Yep, so
he's big.
the whirling axes will not have much of an effect now on him. Guess he doesn't need axe. He's just gonna do it a different way. And Riddy's, I believe he did not have the blink, right? It was just straight up ag. So now blink ags
he has
gives
the
him
blink,
so
too.
much more room to work with.
This could be a game-deciding fight right here. Both teams fully smoked. They're kind of drawing lines to avoid each other effectively. OG
Yeah,
will
Roche
check
up
that
in
Roche
30
is not up.
seconds. They will run into each other shortly.
BZM in a rather precarious position here.
And he's working on a Lincoln's. He
will break a
desperately
smoke.
needs it. They spot Daze. Instant Shadow Realm. Onslaught from Mika's going to force the BKB from Tomato. Big Sunray coming out from Seb. In the meantime, the egg on top. They might be able to kill this Primal Beast. They do. Huge kill to start things out, along with the Dark Willow. Dark Willow buys back, though, but no Primal Beast. Got the Juice and Company. Still want to fight, apparently. Static Storm kind of whiffs, though. Whisper gets off his BKB. Riddy's attempting to get out. The Infest will be used, and, well, Lifestealer does get out, Cinderin, but Navi Jr. losing this fight horribly. 3 dead for them, and now the Roche looks to be OG's.
Finally, something good and structured from OG. They spring the trap there. They set up behind, assuming that Navi Jr. are going to come in from the left, and they'd be right in assuming that. They get the smoke break onto the Willow. They immediately force her to play defensive. They get all their abilities off, their BKBs. The Static Storm from Riddy's is not good this time because they're not the ones with the setup. They don't get to get the jump with a stun into the AoE Doom. So he ends up throwing out one in desperation, trying to catch the Doom in it, but Whisper makes it out in time, gets his BKB off, and the fight is just over. So a good counterattack from OG. This is more of what we were expecting. Now with the momentum of the Aegis, let's see if they can try to get more than this, or if they're going to have to settle for just the Tormentor. And no structural damage. I will say this is the type of game where even a meaningful gold lead for OG is not enough. Because we've already seen multiple times what Navi Junior's lineup can do. This is a game that you're stressed until it's over. Because you can, at any point in time, just get jumped and die. There's no guaranteed save your way just yet. Seb actually swapped away from the Wind Waker and went Refresher now. So they won't even have that save. Rubik Shard is the best bet, but you gotta be quick to get that one off.
Radiant are scattered.
And Whisper working on Octarine into Refresher. Not a big surprise. So they're going to get 2 Tormentors out of this. It's just gold at this point. Everyone has shards.
Yep.
And any other big items on the horizon. BZM's had the Ags now. He has the Lincolns, which I think probably should have come earlier, but that is very much needed. The Pulverize has basically ruined his game, it feels like.
Yeah. All right, look to Seb to be the big hero of the game now. Refresher complete. And has the shard for his Sunray. He has the Sunray facet. His hero is extremely strong now in the right circumstance. It's all about vision and getting the first...
Dire's top tower.
making the first move. OG looked like they are thinking about just full-on pressuring high ground. This can...
Dire's middle tower.
This can be risky. Seb's actually kind of showing himself. If he just gets jumped and killed, that would be a really bad start for OG. So he's got to be careful. Keep his distance.
All the tier 2 are down. Okay,
whoa.
instant telekinesis onto PMA, who tries to initiate. He's in a bit of trouble now. There's Rolling Thunder coming in. PMA finally the stampede to
they
just
got the
get away. Pulverized onto BZM. He's stuck around too long. They popped the Lincolns. He has no way back in this game. It's already 5v4 Navi Junior advantage, but the Static Storm is on cooldown as well. Surely OG don't fight, despite still having that Aegis intact.
What did they pop his Lincolns with?
I don't know. It could have been Thunderstrike.
I guess so. I guess they
you
just
talked about how that's just gonna be cast while he's rolling thunder. So
I guess they just Thunderstriked and then, yeah, pulverized them. Probably didn't account for that.
So I feel like the Lincolns is not that good when you're being the one when you're initiating. It's actually better when you're being initiated on. Weirdly enough, for that purpose.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Niku might run into Whisper. Still has that Doom.
Gonna lift them up.
Telekinesis into the Infernal Blade. Sunray is there. Yule's on the sideline as looks like Niku was doomed. He'll be killed easily. Can buy back into the game though.
Oh, this is not a good troll.
They're gonna lose
There's so
Ari in
many
the meantime
brambles.
though. Got the juice. Yeah, Tomato completely wastes his ult. He's gonna continue to spam out the whirling
Don't get
axes. This is
the
gonna be life
egg.
number 1
Oh,
pretty
this
soon.
is
The
so
egg does
bad.
fall. That is the first egg. He didn't even get the second one off. Infest into PMA. And this poor Troll Warlord left all alone. Pulverize on top. Triple kill. Forgot the freaking juice.
And this might not be over yet. Daze has Blink, and he gets Vision.
Oh boy.
He has Terrorize.
Shadow round. Terrorize is there onto Whisper. The rest of the lineup on the way. Curse Crown being used with that Ag Shard keeps the Doom in place, and another death to OG's name. He
Full
instantly
team
buys back.
wipe.
And now the range racks and the melee likely to fall. No buyback on Tomato, so 67 seconds. The Phoenix just got the buyback though, so maybe they try to defend 4v5 or they just give her the buildings. But if Navi Junior go for the throne, they could theoretically just get it, but they're gonna go for the safe play. Top lane first.
Yeah, minimum 2 lanes here. I don't see OG putting up much of it. Okay, never mind. Like,
They
wait,
changed
they're
their
not buying
mind,
back for
trying to
second
force
racks?
buybacks. They're gonna have to. I mean, he's up in 8 seconds, so he could die once, buy back, and then do everything. But they're gonna lose the tier 4. This has to be a 4v5. No Troll Warlord for likely the rest of this game. Can you defend if you're OG? They might get knocked out of TI contention because of this.
Doom sold his Radiance to buy
Tier 4s
Refresher.
are down. Okay, Refresher pop. Whisper with the BKB. He's in. They get the stun off immediately onto Whisper. He has to run away in shame.
He's glimpsed, he's
Rolling
dead.
Thunder from BZM. Glimpse back. Whisper is done for the rest of this game. Likely the rest of this TI season. Throne completely exposed. PMA with the hoof stomp onto Seb. He has one more egg to work with. BZM trying to defend with all his heart. 4 seconds on Troll Warlord. So technically, OG kind of defends in a way. But now it's going to be 4v5 without the Doom instead of the Troll. Infest inside of Primal Beast. Gonna pop back out. Now the focus on the throne. They have the fortification still. Static Storm applied to the Troll Warlord. Tomato is likely just dead, and that could be it. 5 versus 3, and now the focus onto the Ancient. Seb, no egg to work with. Rolling Thunder doing pretty good pressure from BZM. He gets a support. They, of course, have their buybacks, though. And now the core is just focusing everything on the Ancient. GG is called, and NAVI Jr. upset OG 2